Mazik and Jaxx in Week 2 battled in a multiplayer tournament match. That means, in this video, I'll be analyzing the match. The report will include both of their tactical equipment, their performance, but especially critical moments during the games, which defined the difference between both of the players. We will take a look at some clips from the match, which I'll go over and note many layers of the gameplay, ranging from the mentality of players, to the execution of strategies. Mazik plays a direct hostile game, where his goal is to throw off his opponent and capitalize on general disruption with the use of power-ups, Ultra Blast and Mega Marble. He also favors leaving a gem or two behind in the previous spawn to prepare for the next spawn, usually by positioning himself in a spot, from where he can move quickly with quick transportation power-ups. Jaxx plays a movement-based game. This essentially means he tries to accurately calculate paths and really loves to take risks on harder executions, which would grant him advantage by being one step ahead of his opponents using speed. Likes to grab gems, whenever he can at any situation just to even get a couple of points that may be left behind. The first game in Skate Park Square started very positively for Jaxx, being clinical in movement and punishing Mazik's inaccurate movement. Here we can see how Mazik did the same move as Jaxx, but went way too high, missing the blue gem, showing there's fine margins to racing the games. Generally, Mazik was getting stuck in places he didn't wish to be in, even having some spawns against his momentum. By leaving the yellow gem for Jaxx to grab, he takes a risk and disrupts his momentum successfully, showing his game ideology, also causing Jaxx to make a mistake with the super speed. Here we go to the most critical point of the game. Mazik misses the super speed. Jaxx had a golden opportunity to capitalize on Mazik's mistake with a super jump, but failed to recognize it in time. Not hearing the fact Mazik's super speed didn't set off and failed to take a tiny moment to regroup and pounce on the mistake, making him do the fatal mistake, and allowing Mazik to grab the spawn and get back in the game. This is where all of the advantage is thrown out by multiple incorrect decisions, which have been capitalized on. Here is when experience gets ahead of just raw ability. Given Mazik's lead, he was able to secure the blue gem. In this situation, it would have been more strategic for Jaxx to pivot toward alternative gems to minimize the point differential, to regulate the damage of not getting the blue. Impressively, both players managed to pull the edge hit super speed trick off, but Mazik being more direct with it allowed him to grab the entire spawn. Time is essential. Mazik does the typical spawn abuse trick to reach the next spawn. Despite it being next to Jaxx, he decides to not copy and use the cannon instead, which completely sets him away from the spawn, meaning, Jaxx hasn't played the map as much as Mazik has and is using the tactical advantage against him. Here is a quick example of spawn abuse. Red arrows meaning upper respawn points, blue meaning bottom respawn and orange meaning the direction you take. Another suboptimal decision by Jaxx to go for that last gem, which is terribly placed to start traveling from, inevitably falling down and letting Mazik grab the whole spawn. It's a common theme of Jaxx grabbing bad last gems. This trick is actually a high-level respawn strat. The first out of bounds will reset you, and the second one guarantees a respawn at the higher level. This trick shows very high level of understanding the level, the possibility to jump behind the level and respawn at the bottom floor. However, players have to be considerate by where they land to either respawn or try to not fall down completely. There's nothing else to explain, as most of the ideas and mistakes are repeated, a game where Mazik had full control due to experience. We are seeing the same patterns, twice in a row. Incorrect decision making. The reason why going for the lone red instead of where the whole spawn is a mistake is because Mazik was using a gyrocopter, which significantly slows down movement vertically. That being said, another similar mistake is done here, where incorrect choice of gems really damages the player. Mazik was able to grab the meat of the spawn. Because of that, it leaves Jaxx confused. This is a difficult situation here, because immediately thinking of an ideal path to race the blue is not easy, but what should have been done is not use the blast and just maneuver on the platform to get the super jump. Jaxx had no blast and therefore no way to get inside the stack of pots, at least he thought. because potentially he could have used the trim slope here. Not direct enough here, more commitment is needed to grab spawns, confrontation is important, even if it may be risky, you have to stand your ground and show who dominates the spawn, which Mazik has done. Mazik takes the match 3-0, with a point differential of plus 139. He won both of Jaxx's map picks and his own, showing just how much experience matters. He simply made better decisions across the board. Those maps being Skate Park Square, Platinum Construction Company and Terrace Tundra. He has shown that experience matters a lot, making a lot of much better decisions throughout the games than Jaxx, which has given him a big edge in the challenging maps that they have chosen, playing multiplayer significantly longer. The game is not just your ability to move the marble, but also decide properly on how you move and what risks you want to take to help yourself. As you play more and more with stronger players, you notice how they punish your inaccuracies and you learn from it. There are many ways to play this game, but everyone starts on the same ground, even the best players of all time were beginners at some point. Thank you for watching.